recession is economically defined as a decline in the GDP over a period of 6 months, but usually not lasting more than 2 years. It takes 2 quarters of a year to declare a recession, so the US may not be in one just yet, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about it, right? A recession is usually visible in employment, industrial production, real income, and retail wholesale trade. During a recession, the economy struggles, the unemployment rate increases, firms make fewer sales, and the overall economic output declines. Unfortunately, a recession is unavoidable and is part of the business cycle. In fact, true freedom seekers know that a recession is when real opportunities arise for those who are prepared. Historically, a recession occurs just about every 10 years, with a correction happening every 2 years, so this may or may not be a correction after all. Still, welcome back, freedom seekers. In this video, we'll be discussing what causes a recession in the simplest possible way, so you can be in the know. Economic shock. An economic shock is a random, unpredictable event that has a widespread impact on the economy and is caused by factors outside economic models. Normally, these shocks create serious financial damage because markets and industries are interconnected in the economy. Large shocks to either supply or demand in any sector of the economy can have a far-reaching macroeconomic impact. A prime example of economic shock is the coronavirus outbreak. Worldwide economies and industries were shut down, employees were laid off, prices increased, and there were reductions in food production and an increase in oil prices. Another shock like this was the Suez Canal. If economic shocks occur for too long, it results in a recession and overall an economic crisis. Excessive inflation. Inflation is a general or steady increase in the prices of goods and services in an economy. Inflation is not necessarily a bad thing, but if out of control, there can be a crisis. When price levels rise, each unit of currency can only purchase fewer and fewer goods and services. As a result, inflation causes the reduction in the purchasing power of money. In simpler terms, take $100. Before inflation, $100 could probably purchase bread, apples, milk, and chicken. With inflation, $100 would only be able to purchase milk and chicken, without the bread and apples. This is extreme, but we think you get the picture. This means that more money would be required to buy what would normally cost $100. This is where your income would come in handy and why we preach about entrepreneurship as soon as possible. Business owners tend to do way better in inflation than employees, and we'll be covering more about our journey through business here on the channel. And before you think we don't understand what you're going through, believe us when we tell you we know how hard it is to start and run a business or to buy your first rental property. That's exactly why we created this channel, to guide you on your journey to freedom. As for inflation, if it gets too high and wages are not rising at the same rate, then there will be a recession. Demand will fall due to price increases and firms won't make enough money, so they'll stop producing as much, which sends prices up even further. As you can imagine, revenue will decrease and they wouldn't be able to pay workers, which sends the economy into a spiral. This we want to avoid. If you're liking this video so far, make sure to give us a thumbs up to show your support. And with that, here's a cute kitten to show our love. Now, as always, let's get back to the next cause of recession. Excessive deflation. Deflation occurs when price levels across the economy continuously decrease over time and purchasing power increases. Now you would think that a decrease in the price of goods and services would be a good thing, right? Well, not so much. Deflation is normally an indication that money supply is low. In other words, not enough money is circulating in the economy. This increases the value of money, and it also means that more goods are in supply than there is demand for. When demand is low, that means spending is low as well. Companies will therefore have to reduce prices so that consumers will buy them. When prices are low, companies make less revenue. Also, with the increase in the value of money and low money supply, it incentivizes those with money to hold on to it rather than spend it. All these together depresses the economy and results in a recession. Technological advancements. As technology evolves, many operations and tasks become easier and time is saved due to the efficiency and productivity of the machinery. So, how does this result in a recession? The advancement of technology impacts the distribution of income and the employment rate. Workers who are laid off, made redundant or replaced by machinery may find it difficult to be re-employed. New inventions, though they make life easier for companies, also makes entire professions obsolete. And if you're going to ask about finding a new job in a new industry, well, new jobs require advanced skills that they simply do not possess. So, while technological advancements are beneficial, the adjustment time for new machinery is too long and sometimes isn't worth it. The adjustment time then causes a reduction in productivity. Advancements also increase the unemployment rate, which causes a recession. Well, freedom seekers, we're almost near the end of another video. If you enjoyed this one, please remember to subscribe to the channel so that you'll get alerts on upcoming videos. Your subscriptions help the stubborn algorithm to push our content out to more people, and the best part of it, it's free to subscribe. And as always, here is a bonus tip for making it to the end of the video. During a recession or times of economic downfall, seek out and invest in more streams of revenue. For example, if you're in the stock market, while you may be inclined to sell the ones you have, now is the time to buy even more of them because stocks are on sale. Of course, make sure you have enough cash just in case the recession lasts longer than you think it will, but the last thing we would recommend is selling your investment during a recession because the rich are buying them up now more than ever. Over the last 2 years, our portfolio has done extraordinarily well because of this very tip. Then, when the economy begins to recover, you will reap the benefits. As always, freedom seekers, thank you for sticking around, and we'll see you in the next one.